What's going on, guys? Betmaster Ben back again for Sportsbet TV for your weekend betting tips. We've got some boxing to bring to you today and some football. And the boxing is a massive fight this weekend.
Huge fight.
Out in Saudi Arabia. Anthony Joshua against Andy Ruiz, the second match. What are you feeling about this one?
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I think no one expected what was going to happen in the first one. Ruiz knocking out AJ. Obviously, he's now gone out again to try and get those belts back, and it's going to be one hell of a fight in Saudi Arabia this weekend.
So what are the tips? What tips can you bring for me for this fight?
Okay, we're doing the boxing first.
Yeah, we're changing up.
Well, look, let's be honest, I think a lot of people are slightly nervous for AJ after the previous fight. Like I said, Ruiz is a man which no one really expected to see what happened.
Yeah.
First Mexican to ever win a world title, and he wants to retain those belts. And this is not going to go down well. I'm just going to say it now. I think he will beat AJ again, and I'm going to go for a Ruiz stoppage.
So that is identical to what happened in the first fight.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the noise coming out from AJ's camp and the noise coming out from Ruiz's camp is just all pretty much gung-ho at the moment. Everyone is at full throttle at the moment, and I think you're right. I think everyone is going for Anthony Joshua to win, but I think that's more out of patriotism than actual boxing knowledge and stuff like that.
I mean, even with boxing knowledge, I think AJ is just a better fighter in general, but it's just the spirit that Ruiz has, and you know, I think it's just the shock he has. It's one of those, it's like when the Ewoks took on the Stormtroopers. Like, you would expect the Stormtroopers to win, but the Ewoks are the ones that won with their wooden logs. And
it's the ones with the heart, you know.
Exactly, exactly. I'm backing my Latin brother. Let's have it. Go on, Andy.
All right, let's move on to the football. Obviously, the last 3 weeks we are on a bit of a roll at the moment. The only team to let us down in the fivefold last week was Chelsea at home to West Ham. So obviously we've got a Chelsea man sitting beside me. What went wrong that day?
I don't know what you're talking about. That week, nothing went wrong. I have no idea what we're talking. What game? What happened?
Chelsea against West Ham at Stamford Bridge. It was 1-0 to West Ham. The odds that day were 1.3 for Chelsea to win. They were the smallest odds in the accumulator, and it was the one to let us down. But let's not dwell on that, because the 2 weeks before that were 2 winning bets. If it wasn't for the Chelsea absolutely disastrous result at Stamford Bridge, we would be on a roll of 3 wins in a row. But the bets I am going for this weekend, it's a fourfold. Back to our fourfold. First game of the fourfold is Bristol Rovers against Southend. Southend are on nothing but short of shocking form, with Sol Campbell at the helm there. Was
waiting for that.
Bristol Rovers as well, they're on good form themselves, so we are going for Bristol Rovers to win outright of that game. Just 1.5, so it's very short odds for Bristol to win, but I think the stats kind of back that one up.
I think, Southend are rubbish at the moment, so yeah.
That's literally what I'm going to say about that one. Okay, and moving on to the second bet of the fourfold, we are going to Italy, and that is Lazio against Juventus. Everyone knows about Lazio. You know, they score for fun, they concede for fun. They've got Immobile up front, who kind of just scores a lot of goals every year, pretty much. And Juventus, obviously, they have won Serie A. Is that what I'd say? They've won Serie A 5 years in a row. Dominant force in Italy. We are going for both teams to score in that game.
It's a great shout. I think, like we're saying, Lazio are unreal. Ciro Immobile, I think he's got one of the best goal ratios in Europe at the minute. 17 goals so far this season. Obviously, like we said, Juventus, they're doing well. They dropped a second, actually, ahead of this game, so it's going to be very interesting to see how this all develops. But look, I think both teams to score is a pretty safe bet, and I'd back that 100%.
And in the third game of the fourfold, we are going to Germany, and it is Mönchengladbach at home to Bayern Munich. Now that is going to be a tasty game. Mönchengladbach, top of the league.
It is. I told you this last time when you bet against Mönchengladbach. So
I'm
just saying. I'm just saying. You know, Mönchengladbach. You know, they are unreal at the moment. I don't think anyone expected this to happen at all. Obviously, Bayern are Bayern. So I mean, it's going to be a hell of a game with whatever happens.
So in that game, we are going for both teams to score again. So Bayern Munich, they pretty much score in every game they play in the Bundedsliga, and Mönchengladbach top of the league. But they're not top of the league where they don't concede goals, because they're conceding a lot of goals. They're just outscoring their opponent pretty much every game. So this game could go either way, to be honest. Gladbach could win, and as well as Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich can beat anyone on their day. But to keep it safe, we're just going to go with both teams to score. And for the last game of the fourfold, this is my favourite bet, which I pretty much bring to you every single week on Betmaster Ben, and it comes in pretty much most weeks, is Red Bull Leipzig to win and both teams to score. They are at home to Hoffenheim, and we all know Hoffenheim love a goal.
Oh, Hoffenheim do love a goal. They've been scoring for fun at the minute.
Yeah.
Great bet. I think Leipzig at the minute, again, another team that are on a roll in the Bundesliga. Like we said, comes in most weeks.
Yeah, Leipzig are probably the most favourite team I love to bet on at the moment, because this season they have been scoring for fun and obviously conceding for fun, but they are sitting, I think, second in the Bundesliga at the moment. So, Leipzig to win and both teams to score. And you can find that fourfold at 8.5 to 1, so that is actually really good odds. Usually the odds I bring to you on fourfolds are around 5 to 1, 6 to 1, so 8.5 to 1 for those bets is at a great price. So stick your money where my mouth is, and let's collect the Wonga this weekend. That's our bets on the boxing and the football. Comment below and let me know if you get on the tips, and we'll see you again next week. Happy punting, guys.
Take care.